Hey guys, it's Ria with today's Message from the Heart. I haven't done a Message from the Heart reading in a little while because the kids are out of school. We're back in Maine, so things have been really busy. Plus, I haven't felt super inspired to, so it's good to follow your own inspiration and do things when you're in the mood to do them because that is following your excitement and that is spirit speaking to you. And sometimes, there's breaks between following your excitement. So I know sometimes things I struggle with is thinking following my excitement has to be all the time or every day. But following your excitement is like connecting little dots. It might be this thing one day, and then it might be this another, and it might be this another. But connecting all the dots always leads you to where you're supposed to be, and it keeps you on the path you're supposed to be. So don't make following your excitement the same every day, because what happens is sometimes we like to take something and set it in stone, like something as simple as me doing my heart card readings, my message from the heart. I might think, oh, I need to do that every day, but it's like switch it up, you mix it up. Sometimes those little breaks and lows are helping you to expand into a new awareness and consciousness, and then you go back to following that excitement. And your excitement is always different because every moment is a new now. And things don't always have to be set in stone, and things don't always have to feel the same. Because I know sometimes we'll get really caught up, or I get really caught up in thinking I need to do this. It could even be something as simple as running. I think I need to do that every day. And sometimes you're not supposed to do what that is every day, or what used to excite you or feel good changes, and it isn't always the same. And sometimes you might think, or I might think, what's wrong with me? How come I'm not feeling as excited? How come I'm not feeling as motivated to do this thing that I know is in my heart? But it's because it doesn't mean it's not in your heart. You're just not meant to do it in that moment. So I feel that's probably a little message for some of you out there. You could be really excited, ambitious, determined, and have a lot of energy, focused on a certain outcome or a certain goal or a certain activity, when it's okay when you feel those lows, and there's nothing wrong with that. And to embrace those lows or embrace those breaks, embrace the ebbs and the wave, and the go with the flow. All right, so today the card that popped out, the little heart message that popped out today is this. It's a single strand, I believe, of a sea plant, seaweed. And again, it's on the beach. We've had this one not too long ago, so obviously there's a repeated message that we need to hear, a message that our heart wants to embrace. And even though sometimes I might pull this card this week and I might pull it again next week, it doesn't mean that it's just monotonous, because there's so many different layers to messages, so many different layers to truth. So here, like the title is release. Well, it could mean one thing a certain day and then another. You might need to release old emotions, or you might need to release an old way of living. So it always can pertain to a different aspect of yourself and what you're going through. And because I know I like to get new cards all the time, and when I get a repeated message, I might be like, oh, darn it, I want a different message. But obviously there is something that the heart, because all these messages are from Mother Earth, which is connected to our own heart energy. And our own heart energy just simply wants us to connect to our heart. So there's something there that the heart is trying to get across to us. And when you tune into the heart energy, it always keeps you connecting the dots, keeps you connected on your path of greater life, abundance, and joy. And there's a lot of times many different layers or filters or screens that you got to go through to get to a greater connection, or shall I say a more clear, pure connection to the heart. So this one happens to say release. And the message on the back says, emotional pain lets us know we are stuck in an old belief system. It is begging for release to allow movement into freedom. It is a call for us to expand our consciousness. As we shift beyond limiting thought forms, we expand into greater awareness and love. And with this card, how I interpret it for today is, and you may interpret it differently, sometimes when we're feeling the same emotion day after day after day, it's kind of like we're in a rut. My son used to do dirt biking, and anybody who's done dirt biking or four-wheeling, you get these big ruts in the dirt paths, and it's hard sometimes to get out. Like if you get out a little bit, the rut will just pull your wheels back into that same deep groove that you've been traveling. Well, that's what emotions are like. You can get really stuck into that same groove, fall into that pattern, because you've got these pathways that are so used to the same connection. They're like ruts, and they kind of pull you back because they're so embedded in you. And that can cause pain, because the pain is just saying, hey, time to get out of that pathway, time to pull yourself out of that rut and create new pathways, create new ways of thinking, new beliefs, new expansion. So it's to expand beyond that same path, that same rut that keeps pulling us in. And a very simple way, if you focus on it, that I realized this week is approaching things in a way like reacting. A lot of emotions go into a reaction that you've always done. Like you might have the same reaction when you're upset with the same person every time. And what it does is it just keeps you on that hamster wheel, spinning and spinning and spinning in that same old pattern. It's just like riding the paths of a dirt bike trail or four-wheeler trail. You kind of keep on there. Well, sometimes it's time to make a new path, go through the woods and the trees where no path has been laid before. But you're not going to do that if you're reacting and your emotions are getting caught up in the same pull, the same entrapment. And when you can pull out, same with a skier even, it's so refreshing when you take the path of powdered snow and create your own trails, and it's fun and it's exciting. And those who like to take the woods, skiing in the woods instead of taking the same mainstream path, it creates freedom. It creates new awareness. You're seeing new things. You're having new thoughts. And it creates a sense of adventure and creation, creating your own trail, you're not just creating a trail, you're creating a whole new energy. Shift. You're shifting into actually literally and physically a new consciousness, a new reality when you choose to take a new path. Take a different route. Take the route that others haven't traveled. And so I was going to get back to my example. So I tend to react with like family members. It's really easy to fall into the same reaction, like button heads with your preteen or your teenager to get them to, just something as simple as shutting the lights off when you're done. Shut the refrigerator when you don't sit in there and keep it open for so long. Pick up your darn, dirty clothes, or, just simple little things like that help life run smoother when people pick up after themselves. And I'm always button heads and it gets you nowhere really. Does it really even help to take that same authoritative, controlling approach? You can just keep going through the same cycle. Same with my son. I have a son, older son, and he does suffer from depression. And he has great highs and he has great lows. And when he's in those lows, he really uses me to release all those negative emotions. And he'll text me all this horrible stuff. And I'll say, oh, Caleb, are you doing this, and this like you're supposed to? And he gets really angry, and then I feel really bad. And one day he texted me and he goes, so there was a fork in the road and I decided to take the path of psycho. And instead of reacting in my normal parent way, like, Caleb, are you taking your medicine, blah, 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 and all this normal stuff, I just sent a smiley face and said, great. And that's not a reaction that I normally would give. When somebody wants to get a reaction from you of, they're in a lot of pain and they want you to feel the pain because it helps them in some sense release their pain, because we're all one and we're all connected. And it's just like a relief for them. But then it keeps you in that same cycle. So if you can respond to a negative situation in humor or funniness and not take it so seriously, because you know what? Life is just an experience anyways. It's just something we're experiencing to grow and expand, and it's supposed to be fun in the game. And when you get real serious and you respond real serious and you respond with the energy that was given to you, not doing anything but keeping it in the same hamster wheel even. You have your ups, you respond positively. You have your lows, you respond in a negative way or a more serious way. But what if we switch it up? What if we respond to negative situations with a smiley emoji or thumbs up or way to go? Because really, it is way to go. Because when you are in those lows or someone is reacting negatively, they're there for a reason. As low as you can go is as high as you can go. So there's going to be that counter reaction that's going to bring you back up. So just, hey, it's almost like you're accepting it and embracing it when you give someone a thumbs up or a smiley face or way to go when they're in sending you bad vibes, because what it does is it diffuses that energy and it transmutes it into light and love. Because shortly after I sent him that, he must think, what's up with mom? He responded in a more positive vibration, and he seemed to have snapped out of it quicker. So anyways, my point is, you can release old negative patterns and old negative emotions, and just taking a different path, react differently. And it's not just with emotions. Sometimes you feel like you're in a rut in life. You just got to mix it up, do something different, because the same reaction creates the same results, because through the law of attraction, everything is going to show you how you're acting from the inside. It's going to show you the energy you're working in, and it's just going to keep showing you the same stuff. So I use this example a lot, as simple as taking a different path on your run. Like, my husband likes to take the same path all the time. He's a creature of habit. And I'm like, how can you stand running the same thing all the time? And I have to mix it up because it creates new experiences and gives you a different energy. Eating a different food. I mean, sometimes someone likes the same breakfast day after day after day, or drinks the same coffee. Try something different. It will shift your energy, because we are always shifting into new realities. We're always shifting, creating a new world, even though we don't see it because it's seamless. But if we want to, and it will stay consistent if we keep that energy the same. Even though we're shifting to different worlds, we're going to produce the same result in that world if we're working in the same energy. But if you can respond, reply, do something different on a daily basis, you can create a whole totally different scene and world. Like the big move that we just made to Florida, it's like normally I'd be looking for different places in Maine, or I'm always got my mind set in Maine, and then one day I just says, hey, why don't we just take this adventure? Something, instead of talking about it, let's just do it. And it did. It totally obviously created something significant and an immediate change, because it was a huge shift. So it immediately reflected back a whole different world. But you can do that also through, if there are little changes, you'll still have it create a different world. And if you never do anything different, you're going to keep producing the same results. And if you're happy with that, that's great. But it's fun to expand. It's fun to just experience all that life has to offer. And so the message of today, anyways, get back to this, is it says we shift beyond limiting thoughts and expand into greater awareness of love. But we do that through shifting our thoughts, shifting our energy, just our response. Say your son has left his cereal bowl out on the table for the millionth time, and you told him put it in the sink when you're done. Instead of say, hey, way to go, thanks for that. Or, just do something off the wall and silly to mix up the energy. Just instead of getting mad over the same thing, actually try reversing it and just see, just as an experiment. Try responding in the complete opposite you would normally respond to a situation, and see. And obviously with the intent for good results, and that's what you'll produce. If you go in expecting the same old, then that's probably what you'll get. But just try it as an experiment, and it helps to release old energies, and it helps to open up doors, portals, holes, or just within you to release new energy. So that's the message from your heart today. And I say your heart, my heart, and we're all intertwined as one. And the way that this message relates to me might relate to you in a completely different way. It could be to do with a job situation. It could be to do with your own thoughts towards yourself. Anything. But because we're all connected through the source, we're all connected through Creator God, all these messages have something, heart messages have something to do with you, or you wouldn't be listening. So, through the law of attraction. So that's today's message. Thanks for listening, guys, and have an awesome, awesome day.